All right, guys, here we're talking about episode 11, season 9 of The Walking Dead. Now, I still think they should mow these motherfuckers down.
Yep.
Whatever. It made me think, though, how many bullets, how many guns are there even left?
Yeah.
So if guns are that rare, if we don't have bullets and we can't do things, why do you give the fucking youngest person in your group a gun? Why does Judith have a gun? Why would they give her a gun if you don't have enough guns that all your good people would have guns?
Because she's royalty. It's
so dumb.
She's
a child.
She's the heir to Rink's thing. Okay, so you're poking holes. Because I was saying, I think maybe, right, that the only way this makes sense
is that there are no bullets.
Well, it's been 6 years. I mean, they said that they could, they had a way to make new bullets out of casings, right?
Exactly.
So I'm not sure where we're at, whatever it is, I don't know, right? I would love to have a whole episode follow the story of some unknown character whose job it is to go out there and pry the bullets out of every dead zombie's skull and put them in a bucket so that Eugene can melt them down and make new, right? That would be awesome to me. But we never do anything. We never find out anything about the world, so we have no idea what happens, right?
And we've seen buttloads and buttloads of bullets fired during the wars and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was like the height of we have to do this and that. And there hasn't potentially been a big war in quite some time. So I don't understand, like, how are they not in a mass surplus of bullets and just ready and, like, things happening?
Well, so
they barely seem to have that many arrows for, like, a people that are, like, in a fortified structure.
They are hinting at something that we're going to find out about eventually. I'll just say it now so I don't forget. Something happened in Alexandria, and we're slowly getting a few more lines here and there.
Yeah.
Henry says to Daryl, "Yeah, but you did what you did back in Alexandria when things got bad." And then Daryl's like, "We did whatever we had to do, kid." And he said all that stuff.
And we've barely
right?
seen Alexandria this season.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm wondering, is there less there than we thought?
I don't know.
What's going on?
So, like, I'm not saying... So, like, I think if I was, like, producer for AMC, I'm like, no, all the guns exploded, and something. Nah. No one will care if there's guns or not. And I'm like, your show became a show where people, like on like a TNT show or a sci-fi original, where people just have AK-47s and they're just unloading on each other from behind cover, episode after episode. You can't just say it's 6 years later and we have slingshots and knives and no one seems to be shooting that much. And then you're like, yeah, but then why would Judith have a gun? Does she only have 6 bullets? And she used one to shoot Negan, but somehow hit his bike. Was that intentional? I think she was trying to kill Negan and missed. So then she really shouldn't have the gun because she can't even hit. All right.
When she saves the new characters, wasn't she shooting the gun then?
I thought so. Right?
So like, it's not like she's never shooting. Like, she's shot most of the guns this season.
She's at the top of the list.
I'm trying to think where the other guns actually shot. Did she shoot all the guns this season?
Well, I can't remember all the episodes, and I think some of them happened before the time skip and stuff like that, so I wouldn't want to trust my big recollection, right? But no,
but you see my issue, is it?
Well, there's an issue. Let's say that much at least, right? Alpha's out there giving the ultimatum. It's very obvious that they have the people.
Like, they shouldn't have, like, a surplus of guns. That makes sense. They're traveling
100%.
Around. They don't have the infrastructure, the ability to make more bullets. It's just what they find, and I imagine almost any place that had bullets was looted. So, like, anything you're finding is from, like, a person's personal cache that died upon it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they would get guns. We see her have a shotgun. I'm like, okay, yeah, that might have a couple bullets that she's kept, taped to the chest, ready for this scenario that could happen. But I doubt she ever cleans that gun ever. And when she goes to finally shoot it, just explodes in her hand. But
looking forward to that.
I just need to understand. I need to be told why there's no guns, why there's not a single automatic gun on the wall ready for an impending horde to come in and destroy your whole way of life. It doesn't seem like something that would happen.
I know. And again, they might do something interesting where we explain this or something like that. But
it's weird to leave me guessing, though, for the whole season.
Well, I don't think that they realize that we'd be thinking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people put, like, a negative thing or like a positive thing. We either explain it or we highlight the fact that you don't know. It feels like here, that's why I'm, like, grasping. Maybe it's the Alexandria thing. Did they ban all guns? Did they melt down all the guns? Was there, like, a civil war?
This is not,
like, what happened, right?
Even if it was just like, oh, we have a better society, we've banned all guns. They're not like the continent. There are other things.
Yeah.
And there are like roaming animals, in quotes, that are just there to kill you.
Yep.
I can't imagine a world where you ever banned guns. But
I don't know.
Again, not much else makes sense. I don't know.
And like, so it also makes sense to not want to like waste the gun. We've been critical of that in the past.
Yeah.
I like that people have spears and knives and like
that
to
should
take
be
care
your
of
first
business,
resort.
right, quietly in like a reusable fashion. That's great. But yes, when someone's out there, the minute your guys walked far enough, just like do it.
Yeah.
And she was like, wrong answer, and called in more goons. So there's the crowd of goons now. Just be like, no, you stupid head, and shoot her.
And like, yes, you are on the outside of a wall. I am on the inside of the wall. If I start shooting right now, zombies come, and if you want to defend yourself, you're gonna have to run from my bullets and die by the zombies.
Yes.
So I don't understand any of this shit.
And like, even if we even take all of that out, an archer is still a threat.
Yeah.
Right?
You still have an archer behind a wall.
Yes.
How many distance weapon people did you have? Maybe, let's even say you had half.
Okay.
They're still shooting through a wall.
Yeah. No, and then it's like medieval combat again. Like
Yeah.
we said, we have the high ground. We know the area. They make a comment, too, like, your people came onto our land and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, you said you were just roaming, so maybe you mean it's like our land right now. This whole time, I've had to believe that you recently entered this territory, and that's how this whole thing happened, right?
Yeah.
That you're roaming, and you roamed here, and now you're seeing this stuff or something like that, right? But I don't know if that's really what happened now, right?
No.
I'm a little concerned.
I'm
they've
very
been around.
not understanding of much that is happening,
Yeah.
and we're hoping that they paint this picture a little clearer.
What I'm hoping for is like a quick sequence or like a montage that shows a bunch of events that happened on the show in the past from like season 2, showing that these fake zombies have always been there. I want something like that to happen.
Like how they did in like the Santa Claus, where it's showing the old footage and them just watching from the bushes.
Always a thing, and they're always there. Yeah, or like that Harry Potter movie, or like the Doctor Who or something like that.
Sure.
Just show me something from a different. Just turn the camera a little and show me. Oh, they were there. They were there. They were there. That's why this happened. That's why this happened. That's why that happened. That's why the herd showed up at this time.
Yeah, they actually
That's why this
affected certain
happened.
things.
That's why they did that. They were watching forever. They were doing all these things. That's why this person died. That's why this happened. That's why that happened. Yeah.
We're not getting that.
No.
I'll assure you that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, either they just showed up and they don't know what's going on, but then they
Yeah.
shouldn't be saying, you came onto our land.
Yeah,
Why would they even think
how many
like that?
groups are within a 2-mile radius? Like, it's an outrageous number.
Okay, so that's what I mean. So like we've established these settlements and we removed the transportation pressure of the saviors, right? People were spray painting road signs to indicate stuff to each other. We were having like a society. We had to fix a bridge. There was specific stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
So then you just spin the dial 6 years forward. So all that territory is explored, mapped,
You would think,
known.
yeah.
We're all good. I want to see some maps, by the way. I wish I could run. I could run this show. Imagine a dude whose job it is to make the maps, and then something happens because his map is bad, and they all say it's his fault, and then like the leader of that camp has to decide if it's the map guy's fault or the right. And there's stupid shit that happens.
I really
with
don't
people.
understand any of the stuff where they've not expanded out into like different buildings and things like that.
Yeah.
Like Negan goes to that main street in that episode where he steals a coat. And like,
Yeah.
how have you not looted and pillaged everything there was everywhere?
You would
like, I would just
systematically-
grab, we're at the coat store, grab all the coats, take them here.
Yeah.
Or we move into these buildings. Are these more fortified than our buildings? Could we take over this town? How does this work?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
there's different things.
You would want supplies and different stuff.
Like a supply chain where it's like we
metals
can
or
stop.
something like that.
If
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
these different facilities and stuff,
Yeah.
oh, we can stop here for safety. We have the second floor of this building
Yeah.
is safe. Oh, we can go here. Well, like places to sleep.
I want someone to like unfurl a map where they've used like a system to code like, okay, there's 3 more buildings that are yellow here, and then Rosita says, no, that one's empty now, and then he goes and like crosses it out, and then they're like keeping track of like certain spots, and it's like, well, this spot's dry now. Okay, let's like figure out like a new place to go to. This place is like an extra half day away. Okay, we have to factor that in. How much food do you have for the whores? They have to like do all these logistics, right? And I'm not saying make the show boring and horrible, but those are the problems you're trying to tackle in this world.
Yeah,
so
you
show
would go
me
to a street, you would hit everything on that street, and then you would
thing
go
after
home.
thing. You would figure
so on and so forth.
Yeah, and you would get stuff. You'd have people arguing. Well, can we trade that? No, it's too heavy. Leave it. All these different things like
and
that.
you would
right?
do the
That's interesting.
What was the guy's name? Not the cheesemaker, the one he taught.
Morgan.
The clear thing, like spray paint the door. Search this house.
Yeah.
Search this house.
Exactly. Some sort of system.
Yeah, so you can easily know at a distance.
And not like radical stuff. Again, we're just freestyling suggestions, but like, yes, you can like imply something to me. And like in this episode, we'll shift over. It was implied. We have a little side mission. We know about a movie theater. We want to get a bulb and all that stuff. There's these things going on, right? So like they are indicating that maybe that's happening, and maybe the people running the show assume this is too boring or like not worth screen time or whatever.
I don't know.
But that's you know.
I'd have to imagine though 6 years later I would have cleared every building that I could walk to, and I'd already be building a new settlement somewhere else.
You would have found a place with like a source of water or a bed or whatever.
Yeah, I would have been circling out around my encampment. Like, okay, now I have to go 6 days out to get to new buildings and stuff. But
there should be
there's always something.
There should be outposts and safe zone things. Again, like if I was doing this, there would be like sources of conflict and like storyline things that happen around what you need to do to build your society out and have it function. So you would have issues with like, we stopped at the safe house, it was overrun. Wait, what happened? No, someone broke the door. Wait, who was it? Wait, there's an enemy lurking out there, and then we can introduce these dumb zombie mask people. Right?
Yes,
you can have
that would be the way to do it.
You can have inroads that touch all these things.
Yeah, we heard reports from Outpost 6. The zombies are getting smarter. What?
It's like we like did this and did that. Wait, that trick didn't work anymore. It looks like the lines were cut, but we didn't hear any of like the rattling noise. Wait, how's that possible? All these things, right? Yeah.
Could have been terrifying and pretty good.
Right? Something interesting. Anyway, that's enough of that.
So what actually happened in the episode? We had
let's just burn through the so we have Jerry, we have the elk hunt, we have the Constitution.
When they started with that Jerry flashback part, and Jerry's mentioning the kids, which I already knew he had kids, but he's like she's pregnant, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna kill Jerry.
I thought Jerry me too. So Jerry has all these moments, all these Jerry moments here, where like they're playing the mission mix and he goes woo and starts doing like the mouthing of the lyrics, and I was like, Jerry is dying in this episode 100%. And then he's like, you think we should go down there? And Carol's like, shouldn't the queen be able to weigh in? Let's stay and fight. And I'm like, Jerry is dying in this episode. I was like 100% that Jerry dies now.
I pulled back the moment I realized it was a flashback, I stopped my Jerry's gonna die thoughts.
Well, yeah.
But when he was doing that pregnant thing, I was like, oh no, Jerry's dead.
No. So like the elk hunt's present day, right?
I did think the other girl was dead. I thought the girl that was with Jerry, the bulb,
the archer
we've
lady.
Seen her like in like every episode for a while. I thought she was gonna die.
Just to be clear, though, like the elk hunt is present day, right?
The elk hunt.
Yeah. Because so they were using Carol's hair, I thought. Okay. So here's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, short then long.
Yeah, Henry tells the story about how she grew her hair out because she felt safe and all that stuff.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it's interesting thing. Then this episode, okay. 2 things. It opens on a pocket watch, and I was like, "It's Pocket Watch guy, the guy that we talk about. Is Pocket? We're gonna open with Pocket." And then no, it's like King Zeke's pocket watch. I go, okay, whatever.
Yes.
Then we cut to Carol very quickly in this like scene that turns out to be a flashback, and her hair is shorter. And we had just learned from Henry exactly what the background of Carol's hair is. I'm like, did she like half cut her hair because she feels half safe now, or something like that? But then it's quickly, he starts talking about his kids are on the way.
Yes.
I'm going to be a father. Oh, okay, this is a flashback.
Yes.
Because we know now they're together and all that stuff. So I was like, whew, okay.
Yeah,
but
so when he's receiving the parchment with all the rules and
that's
whatnot.
That's the flashback, right.
That's when once that flashback ended, I was like, oh no, Jerry's going to live, it's fine.
I thought in present day with the mission mix and with all this stuff, and he goes, oh, my kid, the first time they see a film, it's going to be great. And I was like, Jerry is I literally thought he was going to die because things kept happening, dangerous things. Should we do this? Is this risky? Is he going to die?
All that fear for me went onto that Archer girl.
Okay. Yeah, I thought somebody was going to die.
I was like,
right?
she's famous enough that it will have an impact, but she's also a person that I'm not even sure if they've ever said her name.
I know.
She's dead. But she didn't die.
She's a great character, though.
No, very.
She's a great, whatever you want to call it, side character. The toughness comes across. She has X amount of lines. They haven't forced her on me as here's a new main character, right? But
no, it's almost a way to do it, yeah.
And I like when
that's
I
why
see
her death would almost mean something.
I know, yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. They should dabble in that a little more, please. Okay. The bulb and all that stuff, stealing the thing. There are some scenes here of some awesome zombies, which is a dumb thing to say on this show, but something about the zombie that's coming at them with the head scrapings.
Yeah, that got caught on the top of the popcorn machine.
And then there's the second zombie who's coming through, and we like see the head scrape or whatever. Something about those two zombies.
A lot of goo though. I'm like, would there be that much blood?
Too much blood. Definitely agree with that. But something about the zombies, I felt more scared of those zombies than I ever have before. I don't know why. Not ever before, but like in like a long time. And I called this out like first half of this season. We had like the zombie finger and like the spider zombie and stuff like that. There's little things where I'm like, oh, something about that was really effective. Because zombies are just like normal day-to-day business as usual now.
Sure.
So when I see a good zombie, I want to call it out. And I'm done.
Called out, official.
Anything else for this side mission? Carol says stay and fight. We got a nice little...
I liked that Jerry called out that wearing the glove touched a bulb. I'm like, that's a thing that we know all too well.
That's awesome, yeah.
And I like that Jerry called it out and Jerry knew and didn't just touch the bulb.
Yeah, Jerry's he's like a goofy guy, but he's not a dumb guy, right?
No,
It's a nice little
I
thing.
missed the axe, though, gotta say.
Right?
Gotta say.
Missed the axe.
Can we not get a blacksmith on an axe for this man?
But I think he's looking good, and because like to go flashback to now, right? I like the haircut. He seems like he slimmed up a little bit, and he's tough now.
Sure.
He's a good guy. I'm like, okay.
Something that I'll never stop hating is the armor they wear.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Why are we protecting parts of our chests and like a single piece of our arm, but not like our lower arms or hands and like our necks are open? Like all these things that I'm like, the armor is only slowing you down. I don't think it's doing anything for you.
No,
knee pads, elbow pads, those make sense because those things you could like hit, it would stop a fight, you could fall.
Yes.
Bracers on your hands make sense.
Yeah.
Forearm protection would make sense. Chest though, I'm like, I don't know how often you're getting hit in the chest that armor is actually stopping anything.
No, I would do like a, to go back to RPGs and stuff, like a light leather armor type of thing. Not like a leather jacket thicker than that and maybe like segmented or something. But like, yeah, they have like a pad here, but then this is just open. So when you're wrestling with a zombie, they can just bite the inside of your arm and stuff. Like, I know it's the same thing. It's funny you should say that.
Yeah, it's been a thing with them the whole time where I'm like, I hate their armor.
Yeah.
I also would like them to really go into the bite power of a zombie because a simple leather jacket should be enough to keep you like 100% safe.
I would even think like a leather mesh or like a woven leather, like Kevin Sorbo's Hercules pants or something like that.
In all honesty,
something more flexible.
A flannel shirt. If I was like Lee, bite me as hard as you can.
Yeah.
You might rip my flesh, but you're not going to physically come into contact with me.
Actually
you don't have razor sharp teeth that like you would make contact.
You would think. The show seems to think that you can just bite a hole in someone's skull though sometimes, right?
Yeah, you can just push a knife gently through their skull.
We can't even revisit that. That used to bother me. Oh, it's bothered me so much. It would just like slowly put the knife, as if you're putting the knife back into a knife block of knives. It would just go like this. You're dead. I wanted like a, and it didn't work. And you gotta do it again. Like
hammer and
lean
then
on it.
Step on the head to pull it back out.
Oh, we can make this show so good.
Yeah, a little crude.
What?
It'll be a little crude, but it'll be good.
Well, I mean, just get us in there with all the money. Okay, so it's like the movie thing. I kind of like that. There's like a theme here, both sides. Staying alive is more than just living, or whatever you want to call it. Living is more than just staying alive. Yeah, that's the way to say it.
That is the way.
Enid said it later or whatever. So back to the hilltop, if you will.
Were you surprised that our two captured people both made it back out alive?
A little bit. Maybe not. No, I wasn't surprised at all.
I thought
once Jerry didn't die.
I thought Luke was going to live. For sure.
Oh, and Alden would die?
For some reason, because there's more lost there. You'd have,
Enid was like,
I love this man, and him, like, being the, like someone that overcame being a savior to being this, and now, or at least injured. Like, nothing happened. It was really kind of just a filler of space.
I may have made a note to that effect. I was a little, in my notes somewhere, I wrote, like, oh, but it's fine, I guess, or something like that. Because they do this prisoner exchange with, let him go, okay, start walking, okay, you start walking, okay. But then it's just like, okay, and you're fine. Yeah. And then all of the tension and all of the, pop goes over to, I don't know her name, sadly, so I'm going to say Deaf Girl.
Yeah, I have no idea what her name is.
Deaf Lady. That was weird. We get underwater noises scenes.
Yeah, I was like, she's deaf. Why are you playing any noises? She would hear nothing.
Well, I'm like, I understand the concept of deaf.
It would be terrifying. The idea that she didn't just book it out,
so dumb.
back,
yeah.
Because she was out in the open. She could just ran right to the gate and they would have let her in.
Yeah.
But she ran to the cornfield, and I'm like, okay. And then their mission then was like, let's try to get her back and kill the baby we were about to let die. Why would you give a shit?
No, and all right, so real quick, I love Alpha shrugging at the lady with the baby, just like,
because we thought that too. We were like, they can't have children.
Well, okay, and I love when they address things that I say, because this is the circle of life that
if
we
you can't quiet
that
your
we
child,
live in.
you lose your child.
Exactly. So,
but that's at a certain point, every child
what
cries.
What child is? I know exactly. So it's natural selection, and I'm like, okay, at least you thought about this. But then that's your answer is, well, yeah, we have babies because we're animals. Whatever speech she's giving about justifying this whole thing in this horrible way. And yes, she says that like, well, we have to leave the baby if the mom can't shut it up.
And that doesn't even like throw it to the edge of them. She just like drops it right where she is.
Puts it down right by her feet,
drawing them completely to them.
This like alarm or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so they even say like, okay, the dead are here. What do we do? And she's like, lead them away, not too far. Like gives them like like marching orders. And then we start to maybe see how they do it, and we cut away and we do all this other stuff that sucks instead.
Yeah.
I'm like, show me how you do because they, you see like a few of them, and while we're talking about good things or things that they're gonna call out, right? Even when they're all standing there, they don't like change their stance. They're still kind of like a zombie, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is great because they're so used to standing like that and walking like that that it isn't like they snap out of it and like start acting like Daryl, right? They have like a way of, and I'm like, okay,
and pose and mindset.
And like a few of them went out there and then like kind of like staggered themselves and they like, set up a shot for us where there's a herd coming in and there's a few guys tumbling in like the foreground. And I was like, okay, this is how we do it. This is interesting. And then we abandoned that completely. We don't even talk about the zombies anymore.
When they called into the
backup
that had Luke and what's his name?
Alden?
I'll never remember that shit.
No.
When they called in the backup, I was like, okay, we're gonna see their true numbers now.
No.
Let's see what this is. And I'm like, okay, is this their true numbers? Because there's like 40 of them at max.
They literally asked half of the people who were there at the end of the last episode to hide and then walk back out so that it was the same number as before, I think.
Yeah.
And again, budgets are difficult. I guess it's fine, but yeah, I had the same thought. Okay, now we're gonna see, and then like in the few wide shots, I'm just like, there's not a lot of people at all. It's the same savior problem where it's like we're going to war, and I'm like, okay, but like you should know all these people by name because like. Look at how many people there are.
If you think about the saviors in that episode where they're harassing them in the RV, I'm like, there's a million of them,
right?
And there was never a million again.
Or even when I forget his name, the mustache guy's fighting Negan.
Yeah.
And there's a big crowd around them, right? Because those are easy shots to get extras for because they're interiors.
Yeah.
And there's no whatever. Then there's like a bunch of them, but like then when other stuff happens, there's not not nearly that many or whatever. All right, we're nitpicking,
but it's important picks.
I know. Daryl swoops in, saves Deaf Girl.
Yes.
Being deaf's terrifying. I know I don't want to be ableist or act like deaf people can't live or something like that, but being able to hear is such a huge advantage in this environment.
It's not even just that it's an advantage. It's that in this particular scenario, you don't have very good visuals. You're in a cornfield.
Yeah.
You have to be quiet, but you're holding a baby that is crying that you may not even be aware is happening because you can't hear.
I know.
You are in the single worst position possible, and yes, that is very terrifying.
Luckily, though, they didn't have at least twice a zombie suddenly appear, like, touching her. That, like, should have totally killed her and didn't. I'm being sarcastic. They did that at least
and
twice. She's like, quit it. Again, with the zombie, things. Okay.
Then we get Daryl and, like, what was it? The blacksmith and his family come out, too?
Well, yeah, so we got a little teaser or like a little thing earlier with like the blacksmith hurt himself because he's got arthritis and all that, and that reminded me.
So he's going to kill and eat the baby to gain its strength.
He needs stem cells to heal his burns. No, I'm like, oh yeah, Henry's here to take over as the blacksmith, and we haven't had any of that.
He's been in jail the whole time.
He's been in jail the whole time. I know, it's horrible. And now that he's out of jail, he's doing Romeo and Juliet with this crazy chick.
Who's like wearing makeup? And I'm like, where did she get that?
Interesting. She looked different.
Like, they gave her clothes, like regular street clothes, which she's like, so weird. I'm like, you were wearing pants. It's not like you weren't wearing clothes. But she had like fucking light pink glossy lips and some shit on her eyes and whatever. So I thought the mom was gonna slap her when she saw her with like, what the hell are you doing? This is not our zombie way.
Exactly.
You're gonna get killed.
But she slapped her because she called her the wrong name instead. Yeah. I did not notice specifically the makeup, but I noticed that she looked different. I had looked up
clean face and makeup.
I looked up the age of this actress, and
how old is she?
She's 18.
Oh, she looks very young.
Well, so to me, I was going to be critical of like, why do you have this 22-year-old pretending to be so young? And like, how young is she supposed to be? Is this even creepy? How old is Henry? Like, what's going on here? I was very confused about everything that was going on. And in this episode, she looked much younger, and I was like, what's going on? This is crazy. But it must have been the makeup or whatever they did to her.
Yeah, I would have thought she was 16.
Okay. I don't know, anything about ages apparently, but I was like, "What's going on here? This whole thing's creepy."
Do we know how old Henry is?
I don't know. I didn't look up the actor. They are supposed to be age appropriate, I guess. But then, how old is Enid? She's much older than Henry, right?
Well, yeah. Enid's
What's going on?
Enid's like 22. She
Yes.
was Carl. Oh, but Carl wasn't 22.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no! But Carl died 6 years ago.
I know.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it hasn't been 6 years in real life. So how old was Enid then?
She was a million.
I hate this.
Who's to say?
Screw this. We're gonna look it all up, and I'm not gonna do that ever.
In this episode,
Enid,
so
okay.
Enid is.
We'll talk about Lydia, Henry, the whole thing.
Yeah,
garbage.
So Henry has taken her, away for safety because she doesn't want to give her back. I don't think at this time he even knows that they have two of his. People out there to trade with. Yeah. So at the moment, I can still say he's doing something that's, at least he thinks is altruistic.
Yeah.
But then Enid's like, no, my husband's out there. I need this girl. And she goes with like random like nerd girl from the first episodes.
I called her other girl because she's the only other girl on the stupid show.
And they go find him. Henry, you got to come back. No, I want to go. Something. I'm bored. I miss my mom. Something. I'm going.
She's like, listen, it's fine. I'll go, which is very mature. They kiss, which is very weird. It's fine. Young people apparently are like that. I've never been young. I don't know what that's like. And then she goes back. I would have been like, bitch, the first chance you get, escape. We're going to trade you, but if you want to come back and seek asylum, that's fine. I would have just said that to her.
Yeah.
I would have said that to her as Henry, let alone as anybody else. I would have been like, this is a raw deal, all right? We're sending you back. We have to, because of our people. But if you want to be one of our people, our door is always open to you. It's not, but come and
but
shout.
You know the back door, so just come in through
you know how
pile.
to sneak in. Yeah, exactly. And I would have said that to your point, even if I didn't mean it, just to get her away from them and back to me where I could put her back in jail. Like, I don't care. Just rig the situation. Don't act like now. Why would she stay? That's so horrible. Whatever.
Yes, it is.
It opens a small door for like, well, if you tell her she can come back, maybe she'll come back, but it's all part of an evil plan. But she's gonna do that anyway, so why not even just say it? And, okay, fine. She goes back though.
She goes back.
Alpha slaps her.
Yep.
You call me Alpha like all the others.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, okay, Alpha. And all the stupid thing happens.
Yeah. What else happens? Is that everything in the episode?
I already hit up my two favorite things. The Whisperers have that stance, and Alpha, her shrug looking at that lady. She's like, "Oh crap, my baby," and then her look was like so awesome to me.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, bitch, I don't know what to tell you.
I assumed they were gonna kill the baby.
Me too.
I thought they were gonna just cover the mouth and nose and just
it
was gonna stop.
Or she's gonna take out her knife and just go like, and just like take care of it
for the first time. A realistic, just slow push.
Well, because that would be she could take a dull end of a pencil,
a bobby pin,
unsharpened pencil.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode was okay. It left me with a lot of questions that we'll see if they answer.
We should talk about the actual very ending.
What's that?
We already hinted at the Alexandria thing, but that was coming off of something else. Henry then books it. That's the real ending.
Oh, yes. Almost forgot.
Couldn't live with it, because that's the stupid phrase that they choose to use. And Enid's like a rapper who like mentions the name of her old song in her new song. Because she's like, I was just going to survive somehow, but now you got to live with it, kid. And he's like, live with it. And then it's like, I couldn't live with it. And then Deaf Girl's like, I can't live with it either, and stuff. And Daryl's like, and then the three of them go on.
Daryl is easily hindered by 50% in taking her with him.
Because he'll worry about her, because he's Daryl. Yes. I know.
Daryl's going to get caught saving her, maybe lose a dog because of her, and we're going to hate her.
Yeah, he's going to have to John Wick it.
She didn't tell anyone she was going. She just left. Didn't bring food for her. Like, she's hindered him in every way.
Maybe she's got a little pouch or something.
Daryl doesn't have a gun either. Daryl brought the knife and the crossbow with like 3 bolts. And I'm like, what is he preparing for?
I'm willing to assume the magic quiver of like a movie or
I
like
guess.
whatever. I know, because technically there should be whatever. You should have like a pot dangling like he's going camping or something like that. I can do a little bit, but yes, it's crazy for them just to be like, let's go, it's happening or whatever. Does he tell Tara or no? I forget who he tells on the way out. There's people around.
I think Tara knows.
I think it's a known thing. That's good at least. Writing on the thing was okay. I like that communication because I was like, I don't know your stupid sign language thing. I'm like, okay.
And how's that going to work in the field?
She's writing notes. Look behind you. Okay, the zombie's here.
I liked how Luke did the sign language behind his back. I don't know if it works that way.
No.
I don't know anything about sign language, and I don't know if direction matters as far as words, and if I could even do the same thing behind my back, because your hand is facing a different direction when it's behind your back.
I know a little bit about sign language, and the funniest part is kind of like when you see somebody playing guitar and you can play guitar, and you're like, he's not playing that guitar at all. He's not even pretending to play that song, even if it's not his audio doing it or whatever, right? So like, yes, you could probably sign like the letters for like what you were gonna say real quick to her, or maybe they have their own like shorthand that they've developed.
But a lot of things are like based
that.
on where on your body and your face, and facial expression is super important as far as I understand for sign language.
But I think he could, I think that in theory he could have communicated whatever he meant to say there. But what his hands are actually doing is like this. It's like go web go. It's like three of like the same motion. It's like very dumb looking, and I'm like, okay, I just have to believe that he's able to sign things or whatever. Because there's a sign language for every like letter of like the alphabet or whatever.
Yeah.
You could spell words like that, and
that's if you're not blinking and you can see 60 yards of hand movement.
No, and this has the anime thing where people are using mostly their usual speaking voices, even though they're like so far away and talking to whatever. I'm not even gonna go there, but I want to because other things are bothering me so much that it like leaves it's leaving itself vulnerable to my attacks of like, why are you doing it like this? Because Daryl goes out there. They could have talked there. Why are they yelling? Yep. What's going on? Why do you not have an archer like this the whole time? And why would they not react to that? I don't care. It's fine. This show is my favorite show. It's the best show on television.
Best show on television. All right, guys, that's this episode of The Walking Dead. Let us know in those comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.